Oh my god. Oh, okay. All right. Just let's settle down. I know it's early, but we're gonna get through this. I promise. All right. So everybody got their coffee or beverage or whatever, because I'm not doing this more than once. All right. Good morning and welcome to our regularly scheduled PowerPoint presentation on an issue that I know is plaguing each and every one of you, and the subject for today is Twilight. The movies made by Summit Entertainment that grossed $1 bajillion. Today, we're going to discuss exactly what we can do in order to correct and even possibly reboot these films. All right, here we go. Nothing. We're not doing a fucking thing. Not at all. And here's why. Because we live in an age where everybody's like, oh my God, we got to reboot it. Oh my God, we got to redo it. Oh, I can make a grittier version of it. Screw that nonsense, okay? You know what? We're just going to call it. We're going to call it. The movies were done, and they were done. And we're going to leave them be. Oh, but Nick, we could do so much. No. We live in the age of shitty knockoffs and awful reboots, okay? We've made it through shitty Star Wars. We're about to be at the end of shitty Suicide Squad. Yeah, I said it. Come at me, bro. We got shitty Lord of the Rings, and oh my God, don't even waste your time. It was awful. And we're about to have shitty Star Trek. And I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, is Nick talking about Starfleet Academy? No, I enjoyed Starfleet Academy. My kids enjoyed Starfleet Academy. You know who doesn't enjoy Starfleet Academy? People who desperately are like, not Captain Kirk. And I get it. Okay, you're allowed to like what you're allowed to like. But this old ass human being is about to ruin all of it for you. So I hope you don't like things too much, because every property he owns, and it is a lot, are about to all basically get pushed back like 90 years in writing quality. And that's all I got to say about that. Okay? So we've made it through the tough part of the conversation, okay? We've done it. Take a deep breath, a woo and a saw. There we go. Quack, 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 quack. Settle. There he is. There's Jeff in a ducky costume. He's the goodest boy. All in all, Summit Entertainment, which is very important, Summit Entertainment made the Twilight movies. Were they the pinnacle of cinema? No, maybe not. But you know what? If you like them, you like them. There are people who like Schwarzenegger's Commando, okay? And I'm not going to yuck their yum, all right? But I will say this, okay? Just an addendum to this. In knowing that you like Twilight, you also have to accept that there are some foibles to it. Okay, there are some flaws. If you were defending the movie series a slide ago, I will wait for you to try to defend this. Yeah, that'll haunt you. And I don't know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Nick, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster up to this point. Like, where are we going? Where are we going on this journey? You just said we're not remaking the movies, so what are we doing here? To which I say, we are doing the greatest and most unexpected thing ever. We are giving this glorious man his own movie series. Well, actually, we're giving him a movie. All right? And it's going to be a 3-act movie, and we're going to, in that 3 acts, encase the entirety of all 4 of the Twilight films. Just buckle up. But why does Charlie Swan do? No, I will have none of it. He is a glorious curmudgeon of an individual, and we love our curmudgeons. We respect our curmudgeons. We realize that underneath those layers of onion, there is in fact a heart of gold. And we cherish that as a people. But I feel like with Charlie, we have the ability to do one thing that I need to have happen. Having seen the Twilight films, there's one thing that needs to happen at the very end. But you'll see it. And it's very important that you remember that as Charlie Swan, he is a cop. And also, Forks is a weird frickin' town. This man does the very best that he could. Okay? But he is a good media dad. Is he the worst media dad? I don't know. Did he end up chopping off his daughter's hand with a lightsaber while standing over a giant crevasse? No, it wasn't a crevasse. Crevasse, it's like there's a there's a two sides to it. This is more of a cat. It's a it's a shaft. Here's the pitch: Charlie Swan Forks PD. 2 hours, 2 hours 30 tops, depending on how much budget you're willing to give me. Basically, the whole thing sells itself as a comedy. All right? Not a whole lot in the way of eternal monologue, because honestly, that's a bad device. I feel like it makes you feel disconnected from everything going around. There's a lot of Billy and Charlie hanging out, but there's also clips throughout it of the other things going on. And the reason I say that is this: Charlie and Billy are having these in-depth conversations, right? About the nature of humanity, about the nature of evil, about the way that things exist, about life, immortality, justice, good coffee, combinations, the perfect breakfast sandwich. They're having these in-depth conversations whilst all of the big shit is going on around them. And it's funny because oftentimes behind a bit Charlie, or to the periphery of Charlie, every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is basically playing itself out. Okay? At one point in the movie, Charlie, while balancing a donut on top of a coffee, drops the keys on the floor of his squad car, bends down to reach to grab them. The whole squad car is facing the large body of water in Forks. While he's bending down to get it, the Loch Ness Monster surfaces with the creature from the Black Lagoon in its jaws, and then descends back into the waters just in time for Charlie to pop up. So it's like Charlie's there. It's all going on. It's all freaking weird. But like he's starting to glean it. You know what I mean? Like this is a journey. It's a comedy, but it's also a journey towards understanding there's a world larger than oneself. All right? And so things play out in the background like normal, right? We do see Bella dive in and dive out at times, and Edward's there on occasion as well, because the main body of the other movies is taking place. But Charlie's like not really grasping all of it until finally, Bella shows up, right? And is going to go to prom, and was injured because went to Phoenix with the Cullens, or I think that's where it was. Listen, it's been a while since I've seen the movies. I'm doing the best that I can. But anyway, Bella's going to go to prom with Edward, and Charlie makes her take a pepper spray, right? Very important, because it's not really pepper spray. And why is that? Because on one of their fishing trips, Charlie and Billy went fishing, and Charlie and Billy were fishing while Edward was doing the whole leaping through the trees thing with Bella on his back. So but we see that in flashback, right? We see that in flashback because now we're understanding Charlie's got a grasp of what's going on. Now this is where things got to pick up pace, right? This is how we're going to be able to compress all 4 movies into one movie in this instance, because Charlie starts poking around town, right? We know he's a good cop. We know he's a good member of the community, and he's basically going to start like flat out saying things to members of the town, things that are like, hey, listen, I know, I've seen, so let's talk. And he starts figuring out that everybody in town is basically some kind of supernatural something or other, right? It's like every single Stephen King novel, every single weird ass character from a Stephen King novel decided that it was going to retire to a quiet town, and they all retired to the same quiet town. It's a retirement community for the weirdest shit in fiction. And Charlie's like, okay, I can deal with that, but I'm going to have to make sure that I am well prepared, because I am the sheriff, and I think he's the sheriff. Anyway, I am the lawman here, and so I need to make sure that I'm keeping the peace. So he's going to make some friends, right, along the way. He's going to be able to establish himself as prepared for all situations, and all the while, the rest of the books are taking place in the background. Still having these large conversations with Billy, still having these kind of interactions, but like not really that surprising to him. He just takes it as is. You know why? Because he's like, yeah, I can handle this stuff. I mean, so long as I understand it, I'm good. And and then because teenagers have a tendency to live in a bubble, the wedding happens, right? As it did. The baby happens, the Renesmee thing happens, and then Jacob coming to reveal that werewolves exist to Charlie is basically happening because Jacob, Bella, and Edward are completely like disconnected from reality. So like Charlie fakes being shocked because he knew by then. He was on top of it. Now here's where we're going to be looking to dump the portion of the budget, okay? Everything else was swallowing like maybe 10, maybe 20 mil tops, okay? This is where we're going to end up sinking that back end $100 million. And I know you're saying that's a lot, but trust me, when this pays off, Summit has never done something so brash, but given some of the stuff we have to work with, given the production company, I think you'll be very pleased. Charlie knows everything that's going on at this point. Charlie is on top of everything that's taken place. Cool beans. The Volturi, for those of you who aren't familiar, they are snobby, elitist vampires from Europe who decide that they are the end-all and be-all of civilization. They are the hierarchy. They are, in fact, the monarchs of vampirism. Blech. Any hoozles. So they've decided that they're upset that Bella and Edward had a baby, right? So they decide that they're going to come to Forks to pick a fight. And that's what they do. And that's how things take place. And Charlie ends up being like, okay, that's fine. But then he realizes that the reason they're coming is they're threatening the lives of Bella and Renesmee. And here's the thing. Curmudgeon, unemotional cop ain't having it. So everything plays out the way that it does in the book or the movie, right? The Volturi come to Forks. They go into this giant open field. Apparently, they're getting raring for a fight. Volturi step down. They're like, we'll monitor the situation. And they act like they're flying away, right? Or they act like they're running away or something. I don't know. But here's the truth of the matter. The Volturi aren't running or flying all the way back to Europe. They are snobby, elitist vampires from Europe. So they are going to the private airstrip in Forks to get on their private jet. Charlie makes sure that their departure is delayed. And the reason he does it is because he's calling in a little bit of assistance. He calls in his new 3 favorite work acquaintances, i.e. the David Harbour Hellboy, who deserves a little bit of a reboot or a little bit of a second bite at the apple. Vin Diesel's The Last Witch Hunter, and John Mother-Flippin' Dog Protecting Wick. The 3 of them tear into the Volturi, completely wiping them out. It is highbrow, balletic, perfectly timed action sequences. All right, it's going to be beautiful and rough and look. Take Charlie Swan, put him with these guys. Now you take Charlie Swan, you give him a lever action rifle. All right? And it's gold. It's gold. Tell me I'm not printing money. The whole thing ends with Charlie wearing a mystical amulet, which gives him power and invulnerability like unto that of the Volturi. He's in a fisticuffs battle against the Volturi's leader, who's played by Martin, not Short. I don't know. The Martin, the one who played Aziraphale in Good Omens. Anyway, and they're duking it out, and he's about to get killed by the head Volturi when he pulls out of his pocket the pepper spray that he gave Bella. He sprays it in the guy's face. It is silver. It's silver, colloidal silver. And he's like losing his mind. And as he falls to the ground, Charlie Swan just stands over him and says, "Yeah, but you came to Forks and you messed with my daughter and granddaughter." Pulls the trigger. That's when you have the end title card, and it says Charlie Swan, Volturi Killer. Tell me we're not printing money, but you're going to have to tell me in the comments, because I'm about to drop this mic. Here it goes, dropping it. I don't care. AV team, be mad at me. Boom.